What is up, guys? We're back for another episode. We're out here, one of our first stops for the day. We're going around today and we're doing some micro fishing. I have the good old micro box with me and the fly box in the truck. We're going to be doing some fly fishing today and some micro fishing. So we're going to see if we can get on some fish. You guys stay tuned. All right, y'all. I do apologize. It is starting to just drizzle out here, even though, if you look around, it's like clear blue skies, but for some reason it's raining. Florida's doing Florida things. So bear with me. We're gonna get fishing here in a second, but I'm just gonna show you what we got in the micro box. Typically, there's already stuff boiling out there, so we gotta hurry up. In the micro box, we got a bunch of these little Yozuri crankbaits, some rooster tails, some good old-fashioned little miniature, I don't know if you guys can see that, some good old-fashioned little miniature Rapalas. These little Savage Gear mullets do really well in murkier water, but today just got to wrestle one of these guys, for we'll be using one of them. Oh shoot, we had something actually come up behind it. I thought it was just snagged for a second, and then I saw the wake. All right, well, there's one fish. And it didn't look like a peacock. Oh, those are bluegill. There's some big bluegill in here smacking lures. All right. That's different. Yeah, there's a bluegill right there. Keep her out of the weeds. We're gonna walk down a little bit closer. Sandsburg got up my crock there for a second. Oh, it's juvenile peacocks. Look at all those juvenile peacocks. Holy cow. That's super cool. I'm gonna see if I can't run it through the center. There's a little gap between these weeds right here. Yep, there's all these baby peacocks smacking it. Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow, that's so cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna angle this down and reel it through one more time. That's just, everyone goes out there and chases these big fish and does all this, and everyone's like, oh, I gotta catch the biggest thing on earth. To me, some of these small fish are cooler to me than these bigger fish. Because for me to know that 3-4 years ago, this retention pond had nothing in it. You could come here and soak a line all day. And there were like mosquito fish and like baby jewel cichlids, but there was nothing ever here. And then I hear that there's, all these exotics slowly making their way to Cape, all this cool stuff. And me and the guys start fishing here, and, it's story after story of more and more peacocks getting caught. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing them. And first we started seeing them in the Lake Kennedy chain here in Cape Coral, and that was super, super cool. Like, there's a whole school of them right there. And, we started seeing them more and more, and we're like, all right, cool. This is something that's going to be, like, in our ecosystem now, is seeing all these juvenile peacocks and all this. And, you know, we started seeing them more and more, and we're like, all right, cool. This is something that's going to be like in our ecosystem now, is seeing all these juvenile peacocks and all this. And, you know, we started seeing them more and more, and we're like, all right, cool. This is something that's going to be like in our ecosystem now, is seeing all these juvenile peacocks and all this. And, you know, Man, that was so cool to see. And then we hear, you know, hey, they're in this chain. Hey, they're in this chain. So you guys know they're here and they're there and they're, you know, doing all this. And then everyone's talking about the pond. If you guys know where I work at Big Boys Bait and Tackle, there's a pond, like literally right across Chiquita from where we're at. And in that pond are peacocks. So that became, you know, everyone wants to catch a peacock. That's where you go. And, you know, everyone starts going there, start fishing there. And we start seeing them here at the Nissan pond. And this has become one of the most public spots for people to come try to catch peacocks because they're here. But before it was like, you know, you'd have to find the schools that moves around the lake. And the other day, I didn't film or anything, but I had Captain Dax out here from Coast to Coast Charters with me. And the entire center of this lake looked like there was bait on the surface. And that was all these guys, these juvenile peacocks, because they school up like that when they're young. Now, it was super cool to see that and to know that this pond's going to become probably, as long as it's a fishable pond, because it is in the middle of a field. That, you know, Cape Coral is a huge developing town, and, you know, we're seeing more and more people move here every day. There's a chance that one day, you know, there's a BJ's over there. The dealership's brand new. Like, dealership's here in the last 4 or 5 years. And, you know, that dealership over there is new in the last 4 or 5 years. And that plaza is new over there in the last 4 or 5 years. But to know if this pond is going to stay local and fishable, you know, I mean, obviously going to stay local, it's in the town, but to know if this pond's going to stay fishable and stuff like that, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, a lot of us here in Cape are starting to wonder. We've lost a lot of fishing accessibility in the town. You know, we've went from being able to fish all the bridges and local structure to now there's no fishing signs everywhere because there's so many people moving here, and they have an issue with anglers fishing where they can see them suntanning on their back, you know, their back porch. Suntanning on their back porch. Words. I think I said that right. But, you know, there are some bad fishermen. There are some poor etiquette fishermen out there that absolutely were part of this issue, leaving trash behind, being disrespectful, stuff like that. Oh, there was a big peacock. I don't know if you guys saw that wake, but there was a big peacock behind that. Let's see if we can't get his attention. But, yeah, there was a lot of just stuff that's happened here recently. And fishing has been cracked down left and right. So there's less places to fish, which is forcing people to do more things, you know. But at the same time, the fishing is just starting to grow here. And it really sucks to see that it's been cracked down on. But, you know, like I said, it's super cool to see what the local exotics have turned into, you know. For years, as a freshwater fisherman, for years, my dream is, I want to catch, you know, the biggest peacock bass. And I was able to do that. You know, I caught my PB on this coast, my PB on the other coast. A lot of people know that, you know, they come in the store, I show photos. If you guys are on my Instagram, you'll see some of them there. But at the end of the day, it's cool to see him here. Very cool to see him here. The fact that I can just go out for the day and fish in my own town and target peacocks. Other exotics too. I'll show you guys a quick little clip here. Some of the other stuff that gets caught here. One of which I caught myself, which is what really kicked off, which was what really kicked off my whole fishing journey and really wanting to start doing YouTube even more, even though it was an idea back when I was in like high school and all this, was after I caught this red-tailed catfish here in Cape. It was honestly one of the coolest experiences that I had catching exotics. And in the meantime, I had just quit my job in the auto mechanic industry for the first time. And that was literally the first day after I did that, was going out and catching that fish, which kicked off my 3-month hiatus of nothing but fishing and all of that. So, you know, it was kind of my inspiration. But doing what we're doing right now, microfishing, it is a great way to gauge what your up and coming generations of fish are going to be. You know, everyone, like I said, likes to go out and target the biggest fish. I have so much fun catching small fish. And it's not because it's the only thing I can catch, as some of my buddies say, but you catch more fish in the small variety than you will in the large variety. And that's just how it is. So throwing small rooster tails, stuff like this, for bass and peacocks and bluegill, you know, it's something anybody can do. Any rod can throw it, the whole 9 yards. You're throwing a $1.99 lure or cheaper, depending on what brand you go with, you know, and it does all the work for you. You literally just reel it in. You know, you can do more stuff with it. You can throw it around and do like fancy little flashes with it, let it drop and pop it. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with these smaller lures. And then even crappie jigs. You know, you can go out and get a pack of crappie jigs for cheap and just throw these around and get the same kind of reaction. Trying to figure out where all the fish went. Do they want it fast? I'm throwing it kind of a medium speed. Something came up behind it. Yeah, I see him. There's a fish right here. They might want it fast. All right. I just hear children screaming in the background. There's one of those big bluegill I was talking about. But yeah, see, like there, that's an actually really nice little bluegill. And to know that he's in here giving birth is another food supply to these peacocks. You know, it's huge to know that there's these fish in here, because before, like I said, you couldn't come in here and catch anything. Wow, you really choked that, bud. But to know there's really healthy fish in here, that's huge. You know there's a bluegill population in here. That means through the runoff and the drains and everything coming in here, bluegill are finally in here. You know, that's another food source for peacocks. So it's huge. I mean, they're probably a food source for peacock until the 3,000 of them that are in here annihilate everything. I am stuck in this bush hard, and I'm trying to get it out. There we go. But yeah, that's super cool. Sorry. Bench out here. Ooh. Big fish behind that. I changed his direction and everything. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna try, hang on. All right, y'all. We are at kind of a, I don't want to say a private spot, but we are at kind of a more interesting spot to fly fish. There is a lot of cover here. We just caught a bass. Just kind of goofing around. But there is a storm coming. The temperature has dropped a lot. It is getting very dark very fast. So we're just doing some goofing around in the meantime. Oh God. Dude. That's another fish. We just let one go. This is a much bigger largemouth. Holy cow. Just totally whacked my fucking rod into a root. Oh my God. Dax. That's a bigger fish. Holy shit. Choked that fly. There's my boy Kyle from MTS Roofing or MTS Construction. Holy shit. I gotta get this fly out. Holy cow. Oh, I hooked her in the tongue. She's not bleeding because she's in the gills, but I hooked her in the tongue. We're gonna get her back in the water. But hooked her right in the tongue. I feel so bad about that. She'll be all right. Man, all the MTS guys are flying out of here. All right, we still got a little bit of time. See if we can't catch another fish off this little corner here. Like quite literally, all I'm doing is dropping that in, waiting for it to go tight. Oh, I just had one. That was so cool. That was so cool. I feel bad that we had that fish that bloodied on film. But like I said before, it wasn't a gill hook or anything. It's just that hook went straight into her tongue, right at the corner of that gill. But I know that won't kill her. I know she'll be fine. So I'm not really stressing it. There's something busting on bait, literally like right here. But this tree is in my way. Okay. There's like fry right here. Oh, I had another fish. I think it's gar. All right, we're gonna back the drag off on this just a little bit because I've been sticking these fish no drag or all drag. That was big, whatever that was. Ooh, there's turtles coming. Don't want the turtles to eat it. Oh, that's a big fish. Oh, that's a big fish. Get it out of that tree. Hang on. Oh, there's a huge school of bass busting in the center. Cool. We got our fly back. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and plop this right back in. Then we're going to take off here in a second because it is getting a little too close for comfort for that storm. And I kind of am holding a 8-foot fly rod, so we're just pitch this back in here. Now, this is like the most unconventional way to throw fly, but we're doing it, so sorry. We're going to take off here in a second. I hear that rain coming. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna take a step back. Oh, there's lightning off to the side. These fish are just taking off. Like, I am so like pumped up because of this, but we gotta go. Like, we're about to make this run across if we don't catch something. Give her a quick pump. I mean, these gar here are huge. That'd be fun to catch too, but it's not what we're after. All right, this is going to be another day, but I just broke my fly PB largemouth. So, you know, first video we ever did on the fly rod broke my PB for peacock on fly, because obviously biggest peacock I ever caught on fly is the only peacock I've caught on fly. But we're going to make this run across now, and I'll see you guys soon.